No singing this morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. My name is John, aka Big Bad Biologist, and today we're going to be working on this little guy. I had a good song about him last week, although it was kind of a terrible song, and so I'm surprised anyone actually watched that stream. This thing's been giving me nightmares, or it gave me nightmares last weekend. We'll see today if this Mac Classic 2 is going to boot or not. But first, we have some other work we have to do. As with all of these things, the analog boards are a mess in addition to the logic boards. So I tried to finish working on the analog board before the stream, but we still have a few more caps to do here. So let me say hi to folks in the chat. Oh my God, look at all the people here. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. We got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, Everything is Broken Garage, Alan Gracia, Lazy Blue Goat, Vic the Vicar. How's it going? I haven't seen you live in a couple of weeks. Chris Angelis, Dave Diamond, Garth Beagle, Epictronics, Gut Bomb. Who else is here? Jamie's Hack Shack. Welcome. III DIY and Retro Mac UK and Joshua Clark. Hello, everyone. I apologize if I missed anyone. I'm not used to seeing so many people here. I am so honored that you're all joining us here today. Holy crap, Retro Mac UK. Good afternoon from a hospital bed. I hope you are going to be okay, Martin. Wishing you the best, my friend. Jamie's Hack Shack. Hopefully we are unbreaking today, but with a Mac Classic 2, you just never know. Did I say Happy Macintosh? Happy Macintosh, y'all. So let's get cracking here. We're not late. I hit the live button. We're good. I see people. All right, so let me show you what we're looking at here. First off, this is the analog board sort of layout of all the caps, and I wasn't able to find one of these pictures online, so I made one myself. There's a description, or there's a link to that picture in the description of today's stream, so if you need that, go ahead and take a look. So this is why we need to do this, why we need to recap the analog boards. Look at all this nastiness all in here. This is so freaking gross. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this off stream is this thing needed a lot of cleaning. And so we did our cleaning and we should be good to go now. So there we go. Let's see. All right, so what are we missing still? Oh shoot, I already closed my image. No, we need our images to do this. Okay, so I still need a 47 microfarad 16 volt right there. Is that what I got out right here? Nope, this is a 10 microfarad. Where's our 10 microfarad? Our 10 microfarad goes here. Okay, so we are going to put that one in first. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, that looks better. So I did not ultrasonic the analog board. I just manually did the analog board with isopropanol and some electronic spray cleaner. This board, the logic board, that did get an ultrasonic bath, and that's what I'm hoping is going to fix it, because generally ultrasonicking the analog boards on these things can fix them. Let me just double check where this one goes. This is our 10 microfarad. Yeah, that one goes right there. Okay. The drawings on these all include the pluses, but that I don't know, the square as opposed to the line, that's the plus side. The plus side on caps is the long lead. So I'm going to stick that in there. Okay. Also, just want to, before I forget, III DIY has a new awesome video. As always, his cinematography and just everything is just so perfect. And so this one's about, oh shoot, what's the PowerBook model? Oh, I'm forgetting now. 540 was it? Just a beautiful restoration. And we met up a couple of weeks ago, and he gave me his parts machine. And so we'll be taking that apart at some point here on the Big Bad Bench. Okay, we're down to 2 more of those. What else do we need in there? We need a 47 microfarad, 16 volts right there. 47 microfarad. We don't have 16 volts, or do we? Yeah, we got some 16 volt 47 microfarads. So let's make that happen specifically. And so I could have skipped this. I have a working analog board that working chassis that we could have put the logic board into, but let's try this system out. I mean, we know last week we powered it up. Against my better judgment, we powered it up. Hopefully we didn't hurt anything. So I meant to pull out some of last week's video, but basically what happened was we got the analog board out, or the logic board, and it had been recapped at one point, or at least partially recapped with through-hole caps, which is fine, but they also just left all of the nastiness on the logic board. It was absolutely disgusting. Okay, and so our last cap here is 470 microfarad 10 volt. 470 microfarad 10 volt. Yay, we have them. Okay. I did need to reuse 2 caps from the original. Hopefully that won't bite us in the butt. Hey, Bacchus, how's it going? 470 microfarad plus. So the other thing we're going to do today, if this thing powers up, is hopefully work on a Mac Plus. We're going to save the PowerBook for another stream. Okay. That's what happens when you use the Chungus iron. You get weird stuff happening. Okay. There. Okay. Just to show you, this was from the bad area. I showed you the picture of the bad area. You can see there's juice on the bottom of these caps. That is not isopropanol. That is just straight up juice that was on the bottom. Crustiness. Crusty. Okay, I think that's it. So let's put this thing back together and see if it powers up. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this on. I'm tired of shocking myself. So let's put this plastic cover on. The other thing I like to do is just get some deoxit down in the power switch. Kind of makes a mess, but sometimes these power switches can get a little sticky. Oh yeah, this was the paper towel that I used to clean up the BigBadBench after I cleaned out that spot on the logic board, or on the analog board. This is the spot that's really bad here, and that was the paper towel. So that just shows you how much grossness was there. Let's just double check this thing, make sure we're not missing any caps. I think we have it all. Okay, let's zoom out just a skosh. Okay, so one of the things I'm not a big fan of about the Classic and the Classic 2 is that like the vertical part of the chassis is not tied in to the analog board at all. So it's like a lot of strain on the chassis right here. And my other one was cracked right there from the pressure of the screen pulling on it. So when you go to put these back together, it's a good idea to put your fan in first. Ian Scott, how's it going? Okay, so there's a little, I'll pop that back off. There's a little groove metal plate down here. Basically, you just slide that on there. It's easier to do this when you have it apart. And also, let's plug in the hard drive connector, hard drive power connector. Okay, so then once that's on there, you can put in our yoke connector and get our wire out of here so it's not all bound up. And there we go. Okay, so this just pushes up against there. There's 2 screws. First one right here. The second one right here. So I wasn't able to get this thing all retro brighted this week like I had wanted. We didn't really have sun until yesterday, and so I released a short yesterday showing my retro brighting process, which is basically a giant tub of water with, oops, I should have made this thing go around there. Giant tub of water, a bunch of peroxide, and a little bit of Tide laundry detergent. Okay, get our neck board on there. Always remember to get your grounding strap back on here. So that the chassis, if you remember from last week, was pretty darn yellow. So, or at least the back part of the chassis was pretty darn yellow. So we don't have the chassis ready. I'm gonna take this all apart. The front could use a little retro brighting and clean up as well. So there's some yellowing there. So we'll take care of that this week. Okay, put that in there. All right, we're getting close. Is anyone else really excited and or nervous? Gonna zoom out just a skosh again. I don't know, what do you think? Should we get stupid and like, no, let's just power it. Let's just power it. Oh no, you know what I'm gonna do? This is a Mac Classic analog board or logic board. I don't really like the Classic all that much. So in case this thing decides to crank out like 20 volts on the 12 volt connector, let's sacrifice that instead. Let's set this up. Let's get some voltage here. I'd rather not sacrifice the Classic 2. Tough love for the Classic, yes. All right, so we're gonna measure 12 volts first. Let's get some electricity, make sure our power's off. Okay. All right. Do we have everything plugged in? I think we do. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oof. Look at how bad that voltage is. 11.58, 11.59. That's pretty ugly. Let's go here. Let's check our 5 volt. 4.81. Okay, so we can tweak that. Let's get our logic board out of the way. So this, I've seen people do this while the machine is running. I don't have the cojones for that kind of thing. So we are gonna do it while it's off. So right down in here, ow, sorry. So there's this little PP1. It's a variable resistor that helps us with the voltage. Yeah, as Vic says, PP1 adjustments coming up. My camera's not going to focus. Let's see. It's right there by all the wires. Right there. Right there. So we're just going to tweak that a little bit. I also typically like to hit that with a little bit of deoxit. And just work it back and forth a little bit, because sometimes they get kind of crusty. This thing was, it was real dirty. So let's work it a little bit and see where our voltage comes out now. Yeah, just reach in there with a long metal screwdriver while it's on. All right, let's try that again. I think we'll do it sideways like this. No, we're not gonna do it with the Classic 2. We're not gonna do it with the Classic 2. Ah. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. Ah, 4.96. I will take that. That is some perfect tweaking on PP1. 11.93. Yeah, that is definitely close enough for our purposes. All right. Nice. All right, so we recapped that thing and it didn't catch fire. It's delivering some nice voltage, at least for this guy. Let's get stupid. Let's get really stupid. And, well, let's get sort of stupid. Let's plug this in and see what happens here. Let's check our voltages while this one's plugged in. So this is our cleaned up Classic 2. I need more hands. I need like an assistant. All right. So here's our Classic 2 logic board. This did not work last weekend, and basically the only thing that has changed since last Sunday was that I hit it with the ultrasonic cleaner in 3, 2, 1. Chime. Freaking chime. John needs some tiny hands. Do we have a screen? We have a screen. Freaking A, people. Nice. All right, let's shut this thing down. All right, so let's let me review some of the stuff that I did on this logic board. We'll go under the microscope so I can show you a little bit better. So I did most of this work on Dave's vintage Apple tech stream last weekend. It didn't do anything, but I just still want to show you. I did the work. I'm gonna freaking show you, right? Let's go here. Okay, so here's our processor. I took this off. I took this off. I took this off. I took this off, and I took this off. I cleaned underneath all of those. And then I took this off, and I took this off, and I took this off, and I cleaned off out of underneath all of those. That didn't do anything. I took these two RAM chips off, cleaned under those. That didn't do anything. I then went back. This was a trace that we were looking at last week. It turned out that it was actually broken, so I went and bodged that. And so that's all better. Oh yeah, I took this one off too. This one I did not take off. So I took all of those chips off, put them back on, and it didn't do anything. The other thing I found was that the reset switch was bad. And so the reset switch, oh, Gut Bomb says, yay, now you have a, oh, it's a Classic 2. Are you kidding? Classic 2s are great. So this thing was not doing anything. There's sort of like a hole in the back of it. So well, one, I dumped the whole thing in isopropanol and washed it around a lot. That didn't do anything. I deoxided that hole, didn't do anything. So then there's like, see there's like this little thing here. There was another one over here. So I used a screwdriver, a little tiny screwdriver. It's probably not, oh yeah, it's this one. To drill a little hole under there. And then I deoxided the crap out of it. And so I think this works now. Yeah. It kind of works. It works way more than it did. So we are going to call that a win. This thing has like a little back to it that kind of, I think it was hot, melted in there. Is that the same switch as on the SE? Yeah, it kind of looks like the same switch as the SE and the Plus. There were two little things on the top, but they were basically corroded all the heck, so they're gone now. So we'll stick this back on there. Gotta clean a little bit more of that solder off of there. Freaking ultrasonic water bath. How awesome is that? Do all that work to unsolder all those chips to clean out, because they were nasty in there. Did all that work, and all it needed was a little ultrasonic love. Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, come on, thing. I just want to put you back on there, you switch. There we go. Now we're back in there. Sort of. There it goes. Okay, it's nice and flat now. Solder those up with our giant Chungus iron. And we'll see if we have a reset that actually works. The other thing we need to do today is put a battery on this thing. And I know, like old Macs, is helping people want to get rid of their old batteries. Oh, geez, I just dropped it there. Their old batteries from their Macs, but I like to put a CMOS battery back in these things. So we're going to stick a CR2032 on this. Gotta get rid of that. Speaking of batteries, Evil Garth last night made me buy another battery bombed 2SI. So that'll probably show up next week. We'll take a look at that. I'm sure that'll be gross and make me cry a little bit. Okay. I'm calling him Evil Garth because he said it wasn't really him. Yeah, he made me get a battery. I had no choice in the matter. It has a weird card in it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that weird card is. All right, I always forget which way these are. So this side is the minus. That side's gonna be the minus. Oh no, that side's the plus. That's the minus. So we're gonna bend that out. Yeah, it was sort of Garth and Trina that I guess were really the peer pressure. And then Dave came in right after I pulled the trigger on that one. Okay. All right, these things can be a little bit of a pain to solder on, so it helps to give them a little flux. And I think I just dropped my flux on the floor. Oh no, there's my flux. Okay. That's a lot of flux. Oh my gosh, that's way too much flux. Oh well, it happens. Sometimes the flux just flows. Ooh. So yeah, it has a weird card. I had no idea what the card is, but Gut Bomb has apparently figured it out. So we will find out maybe next weekend. Probably shouldn't do this on top of our nice new logic board. This is not easy to do without a little weight. So let's give it a little weight. Okay. Oh, I broke it off. Ah, you jerk. Ah, you jerk. That little protuberance, it broke off. Okay, fine. That's the way you're gonna be. We're gonna go up here. think I'm going to switch to my small soldering iron though. Gonna get to some small solder. We are going full, go for it with our hands. That thing is going nowhere now. Much better. Okay. Always just double check. So this, you can see it's labeled plus on this side, but let's just beep out the other side. Make sure that's our minus. That is not saying it's minus. Oh, we got chunky. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. That's good. We're good now. All right. So then we'll take this guy. Gonna do this so I don't forget which side is which. Because I always forget which side is which. Gonna go there, there. Did I just break that clip? Oh my gosh, this thing is gonna be the death of me. It really hates me. Yes, they're Italian. Okay. Are we gonna get it this time? There we go. It's gonna be like that. And of course, now I got it all flux all over here. I should have done this first. Forgot about that. Sorry. Sorry, board. We'll have to clean you off again. It's okay. We'll be okay. Just want to make sure my voltage is getting through. 3.3. All right. So there we go. Our CR2032 is on there. Let's get out of the microscope. Let's put some freaking RAM in this thing. I think these are two 4 meg sims, so this should bring us up to 10 megs, which is the max that this thing can handle. What else do we need to do? We got our reset switch back on. I think we're good. I mean, this thing does need the floppy drive serviced. When I did a stream a while ago about what to do when you buy a Mac Plus, basically the floppy drive service on this is identical to that, so I'm not going to show that today. This is a 1.44 meg drive as opposed to the other one. Let's see if this hard drive still works. That would be fun. I'm not going to plug in the floppy drive just because, in case that cheese gear is on the edge and it's not lubricated, it could cause issues. All right, let's connect the keyboard and mouse. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, gotta put power in. You always got to plug these in. I've learned that over the years in my professional experience. Always got to plug in the computers before they power up. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Guppa asks if I'm not setting it on the ADB cable. It's over there. Don't worry. That's why it's on an angle like this. All right. There we go. So this thing is working. Do we see our RAM? Mac Classic 2, OS 7.1, 10 megs of RAM. Nice. Well, this thing is basically good to go. Should we see if it that spin down noise isn't great. Let's speaking of Wi-Fi, let's try this. So this is my Blue SCSI with the Wi-Fi adapter in it. What does a restored Classic 2 go for? I don't know, but I would like to know, because I'd really like to sell this one and raise some money for charity, because I haven't done that nearly as much as I would like to. So if anyone's looking for a Classic 2 and wants to get one that has been worked on, hit me up. All right, let's try it with our Blue SCSI with Wi-Fi. Let's see if this thing actually works. 3, 2, 1. Go Blue SCSI. So yeah, I like the Classic 2. The styling is not, my most favorite. I'm kind of partial to the Mac Plus. But, to get a 68030, 10 megs of RAM in a compact Mac and not have it cost what going rates are for SE30s are at this point. Oh, the tube is causing microphone issues. I'm sorry. I'll try to step away a little. Bomb got his SC30 for $95. That's very fancy of you, Bomb. The rest of us are not that fortunate. Bomb gave me an SE30 reloaded board for free. That'll probably be a Macintosh stream too. Broken SE30 reloaded board. All right, so this I think is 755 or 753. About, yeah, 753. Let's see if Navigator works. We're connected. We're on to Frog Find. Does Frog Find actually work? Because I think it was broken for a while. Look at that little frog. There you go. We are wirelessly browsing the web on our newly restored Mac Classic 2, sort of partially restored. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of sun this week and I will be able to get this thing all put back together. So how cool is that? Oh, I'm so excited that this thing is cranking away. It seems to be pretty happy. All right. So yeah, the SE30 is obviously an incredible computer, but the prices nowadays are really stupid. All right, so let's shut this thing down. Get this out of the way. It is a great way to read the news. You always need your news in black and white. Yay! How exciting is this? Oh, I'm so excited. This is awesome. Woot! Okay. So, now what we're going to do is something stupid. We did something that kind of was good. Now we're going to do something stupid. So this is a 68010 processor. And this is a Mac Plus. I would show you, well, let's prove that this is actually a working Mac Plus. And then there's something here too. Don't look at that right now. So the Mac Plus has a 68,000 processor. So what I want to do is turn this Mac Plus into a 68010 Mac Plus. Okay, so let's see if this thing works. 3, 2, 1. We got chime. This is one that I bought, I don't know, what, a month ago? Well, the chassis is. Yep, okay, we're booting. The logic board is one that I worked on a while ago. We did an experiment on one of the streams where we swapped the SCSI chip from a Mac SE into the Plus, and it worked. So we're gonna swap more stuff into the Plus and see how it works. Also, okay, this is just a little extension that I made out of a spare power connector from a Plus, from a parts machine. I just put nails, small nails. I cut the heads off the nails and run them through here, and then that lets you do a little extension. So what we're gonna do is add a socket to this board. So you can see, you know, the Mac Plus, the SE, all of the processors were soldered in, and the stupid sockets are actually kind of hard to find. So safety while working with electronics. Yeah, get your nails out, you know, all that kind of stuff that you need to do. That mod is not janky at all. So this board also was one that I was diagnosing. So this board has a lot of socketed chips. I was doing some part swapping between Mac Plus boards. So yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna see how this goes. Gonna have a lot of mooing. I hope you're all ready for some quality moo time. Oh shoot, I really should have cleaned my moo gun out. We'll see how we do. Ah, we're mooing nice. Those of you in the future, go ahead and fast forward. It would probably be cool if some of you that are here now could fast forward. This would have been a fun project for me to get started on off stream, but we'll do what we can. Try to make this go fast. Also, massive thanks to Gutbomb for donating the moo gun to the channel. That donation sucks. Ah, I understand that's a joke. Oh yeah. So the other big thing, I've been really busy with life stuff this week, so I haven't had time to play with old Mac stuff. But was it Paul Rickards, I think, is the person that started it. And I don't know if this is showing up on Twitter. It's showing up on Mastodon a lot. So those of us that are on Mastodon have seen it. Basically, a modification of local talk that is now global talk, which is just stupid crazy. Lots of people sending crazy pictures to each other over the interwebs to their image writers. Just super fun. I think there's a chat app now. Ian Scott has been doing a lot of stuff on there. Steve Mac 84 has been doing a lot of stuff. Just it looks like a lot of fun, and I'm kind of upset that I haven't had time to play with it this week. But I'm looking forward to getting a chance to maybe set something up tomorrow. As you can see, this SE30 this SE30, this Classic 2 connected nicely to the interwebs. So we'll be able to get some of that going, hopefully with this Classic 2. What's up, Trina? Lazy Blue Goat, was it you that said you ordered 8 recap kits last week? I was just wondering how much progress was made on that. Oh, Dave wants my Classic too. Ian Scott needs to come up with more designs to send to people's printers. Oh, speaking of Console 5, I normally don't give super public, like super pub to companies that, I have to pay a lot of money to. But I bought a bunch of recap kits. Remember that I was working on the LC520 analog boards, and so instead of buying all those hundreds of caps individually, I just bought them on Console 5. And while I was there, I also bought a recap kit for an LC power supply, like a pizza box power supply, that I had been wanting to redo. And before I even got a chance to open the bag up, I forget the guy's name from Console 5 sent an email, and he's like, hey, there's a chance we forgot to send you some of the caps in that kit. Can you check that kit and we'll send you what you're missing? And I was like, that is really good service to, like, you know, realize that you might have screwed up and proactively contact your customers like that. That is epic. I really appreciate that kind of stuff. So major props for that. Ian Scott says, yeah, my last order didn't have the candy in it. Yeah, it seems like they're not doing the candy anymore. Oh, okay. Lazy Blue Goat says I didn't finish that order yet. Well, yeah, you're not going to get it if you never order it. It's okay. I do the same thing. We're making good progress here. I know this is not compelling, but it sounds nice. It's kind of relaxing, right? Pretend like you're in the Scandinavian mountains, or the mountains of Vermont with their happy cows. You can see when I do this, I don't like to move the Moo gun around like some people do. I just let it sit. Sometimes I'll push it up against the leg if it's kind of out of whack, to make sure that heat really gets transferred well. Sometimes with these, I cannot get all the solder out of the holes, and that's fine. I never will rip out a chip just after doing the Moo gun. I'm always going to apply heat afterwards with the hot air. But yeah, if you have one of these leads that's like connected to a power plane or ground plane, sometimes it's hard to get all that solder out with the Moo gun alone. Yeah, see, like that one was not great. Let's give it a little bit more heat. If you have a board that's really gross, sometimes it helps to add extra fresh solder to it. Get that really nice heat transfer, get that oxidation layer off the top of your solder. That one's not happy. Ooh, I'm glad someone said Amazon. I also have something I want to show that I bought off of Amazon this week. That's going to be a lot of fun at some point. And of course, you'll see it here on the Big Bad Bench. Only 6 more of these to go. Nope, that one was bad. That one got very little out of there. Give that some more time. Yeah, that one's not being nice to us. It's okay. We'll get it with hot air. All right, that is definitely not the best one. All right, Garth, have a good day. Still mad at you for making me buy that battery bombed 2SI. All right, there's still a lot that still have a lot of stuff in them. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, right? I'm putting this in here, but I'm not prying, right? So we're gonna rest that in there. I'm gonna use this to hold it. Oh, actually before we do that, I'm gonna take the cap off my hot air station, the nozzle. And we're turning it on. We're gonna go to 350 degrees, 120 liters per minute of airflow. And we are just gonna crank on this thing. I apologize for the flashing lights. Like I've mentioned before, my electric is terrible out here. Because I am basically in a barn. The big bad barn. And so we're gonna do this sort of evenly. We don't want to heat any one particular area of the board up too intensely. We could probably go a little bit higher with the temperature, but for older boards, I like to try to keep the temperature down as much as possible. So that's why we're only at 350 degrees. Sometimes I'll go up to like 390. If it's a newer board, I'll go up to like 450 degrees. And so I have that bent tweezers in there, and I'm not really applying any force. I'm just like holding it, and I'm sort of giving it just a little bit to see if there's any movement. But if there's no movement, I'm not really applying any force. So, and also I try to spend more time towards the bottom because heat rises. And so there were a bunch of the holes, the vias up here that had a bunch of solder in there. So that'll be sort of our hardest part to remove here. When you have chips this large, I think is this 68 pins, if I remember correctly. It's kind of hard to evenly heat everything up as nicely as you'd like. It'll get there though. Just be patient. Maybe have a nap. If you're Trina, you want to have a nap while you're desoldering. You mean the gentle whoosh of the hot air station has not lulled you to sleep? Oh, I just felt it move. It moved. Still not going to apply too much pressure. Just going to let it do its thing. Okay, we're starting to get a little movement. Again, we're not applying a ton of pressure. Going nice and gentle. Oh, there's a big movement. Someone has previously commented on one of my videos about me being the Bob Ross of vintage computing, but I don't know. Personally, I find like Noel from Noel's Retro Lab to have much more common voice. Something about a Spanish accent with a little bit of a rhythm there. It's way more melodic than I am. Happy little solder blobs. I'm going to come in from the side now since we have a little more room. Going to focus on over here. Okay. That moved a lot. Going to come back around on the other side. Everything's getting pretty hot now. Electronics gets Christopher Walken. That's a good one. Oh, I hadn't have thought of that. I like it. Okay. One side is out. Sorry about my head. Spot was really difficult up here. I wonder what's going on right there. This is one of those situations where pros might have tools to like help hold things up. I'm an idiot. There we go. Chips out. Whew. So Dave mentioned how it reminded him of working with the SCSI chip. Here's the SCSI chip in relationship to the 68,000. 68,000 is kind of a big boy. All right, you can see there are multiple holes that still have solder. So we're going to get our big iron again, and we'll pop under the microscope. Let's take a look under the microscope and see how things look. Let's see if we did any damage that we can see. No major damage so far. If you see like your via is kind of popping out, you know you did a bad. I think we're okay. So you can see most of them are clear. That one. It's good. I like Epictronics' accent too. It is very relaxing. All right, so I find it helps to get a little bit of flux on these things. Also try to do this while the board's still got some heat in it. That tends to help. Clean your tip off before you start this so that your solder braid is actually removing solder from the board and not from your tip. That one we might have to come in from the top. Yeah, we'll come back from the top over there. Oof, that one had a lot of solder in it. All right. Making some good progress here. Let's check the other side. That spot is just so full of solder. Does not want to leave. There it goes. I think that's just a bubble. I think that's just a bubble. Trina, you learning how to solder from this? Or desolder? Okay, they all look pretty nice and clean. All right. Epictronic says I'm getting close to 1024 subs. Better order some champagne soon. I've sort of hit a wall. My subscriber count has just like basically stopped. So it's fine. But I do need to figure out what I'm going to give away for 1024 subscribers. So I've given away stuff at like all other of my big numbers, like 128 and 256 and 512 and 768. Okay. There's our socket. Fits in there nice. Let's go back under there. And I'm gonna hit this. I think I'm gonna actually switch to a smaller tip. Let's get one of our small soldering tips going. It's a little bit easier to work with these. Trina's bidding on something. Oh, Epictronics is premiering original Mac. Nice. So I'm just reheating this to make sure everything's pushed up against the board. And I'm going to come down here. So we did ones in the middle. I'll do some down here on both sides. Oh, sorry, that's an ugly noise. That is an ugly noise. Okay, push there, make sure it was up against the board. Do the same thing here. That's up against the board. There and there. Oh yeah, that was better. That one's set nice now. Okay, I'm gonna look real quick up top. Oh. This one needs to come that way a little more. There we go. All right, so we're basically flush. Now it's time for some rapid fire soldering. Everyone loves rapid fire soldering. And of course, after the stream, I'll clean up this board because it's kind of a mess with flux and everything, but we'll make it look pretty again. Don't worry, we'll make it look pretty. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? I wanted to put a processor in there while we do this so that everything stays aligned, because sometimes those sockets can melt a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's a quality socket. We'll probably be okay, but let's put that in there. Okay. All right, sorry. Now back to rapid fire soldering. Wasn't Ford Rapid a model in the Ford Simulator? I don't remember the Ford Simulator. I thought it was a Taurus. I thought you could only drive the Taurus in the Ford Simulator. I remember going to my friend's house at one point and playing that. I was like, this is lame. At least the thing I saw, it was just like a dealer promotional thing. All the beauty of a 1991 Taurus. Yeah, in EGA graphics. Getting close. I'm getting excited now. Okay, I think that's it. It's kind of ugly right now because we have so much flux and junk all over this board. But I think we are good to go. Here's our 68010 in our socket. I was going to put the original 68,000 back in it and start there just to make sure that works. But let's just go nuts. Let's just do it. Let's just try. I think we won't power it up with a drive image and a floppy drive yet. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh. We got nothing. sure I didn't get a solder bridge or something. Oh, we got something on the screen. We got a checkerboard. I've never seen that checkerboard on a Plus before. The 68,000 should, or 6810 should be a drop-in replacement for the Plus. Just want to make sure my voltages are good here. There it is. I think our power was not connected properly. Oh, and it's sad. Although I think this one does that. Let me check voltages on this thing. I think this one, no, this one should be fine. Let's see what our voltages are at. Oh, geez, I forget my Mac Plus numbers. It's like something. It's -12. It's 5. I think that's battery. Let's go right in. Let's go right in with my little fancy, not janky at all extension. You can see, like I said, it's just nails. So I'm not sure about this RAM. Might want to try some different RAM in this thing. It's fine, nothing to see here. Yeah, basically. Let's reseat our RAM. Oh yeah. Some of this RAM is RAM that was kind of sketchy at some point. Might need to swap out our RAM on this thing. All right, let's try it again. Let's give it a blue scuzzy image. I think this one will boot. Yeah, that should be 608. The jank helps the project ideas. III DIY. There it goes. Look at it booting. Sweet. I wonder if it sees it. Oh, shoot, I forgot to plug in a mouse. Okay, damn it. Alan Gracia, you don't like to live on the edge at all? I know, I really need to get a better mechanism for filming CRT screens. We'll figure it out someday, I promise. Someday, I won't be as awful as I am right now. But for now, I am just as awful as I am right now. All right, let's try this again. Just doing a little insulation back here, grounding on one side. It's not so much a tripod that I need, it's that I need a screen, another camera. And I got another capture device, so I'm ready for another camera. I'm just trying to find a better camera. Come on, boot, you guy. Look at this guy booting. Thank you, Ian. Someone gets me. Ian realizes this is way more fun. All right, so will Snooper actually see if this is a 68010? It sees it as a 68010. All right, this is awesome. Very cool. All right, so we're gonna have some fun with this. We are basically done for today, but old iPhones make adequate cameras. Yeah, but my iPhone is my main camera. All right, so let me show you something. So right now, the 68010 doesn't really get you anything in a Mac Plus because Apple never really did anything with a 68010. But let's switch it around like this. Look at the speed of this. That's a 12 megahertz processor, and our original is 8 megahertz. So what I'd like to do is figure out a way to make this thing run at 12 megahertz. You can't change the clock crystal on these things because it affects the screen and everything else. But I think I have an idea about how to give this thing 12 megahertz. So we're going to play with that a little bit next week. The other thing is, look at this. What do we have here? So this is a 68030. And this is a stupid soldering project that I'm working on. So we might be doing something with this maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to give anything away, but let's see. Something might work. It probably won't. It probably won't. So, but just for poops and giggles, I want to try it. You know, it's Macintosh. I love to do my silly soldering projects. And so let's have some fun. See if we can adapt a 68030 to go into that spot. It probably won't work, but whatever. So we have a lot of stuff to do next week. We're going to take a look at that laptop that that III DIY gave me. We might work with this silly thing, and it is definitely mega jank. And maybe we'll figure out a way to feed this thing 12 megahertz. So I think that's going to be it for this week. Yeah, make sure to join next week. Please make a dip adapter board. That wire bundle is stressing me out. No, that's what we do here on the Big Bad Bench. It's enameled wire. It's okay. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. No, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, have a lovely week, y'all. I'm going to get out of here, and hopefully we'll have some more fun stuff next week. Always check out Dave's Vintage Apple Tech tomorrow. Tech Ambrosia is streaming tonight again, and she's going to be talking about Cheap PC Challenge for 2024, which Cheap PC Challenge is a lot of fun. I've gotten awards 2 years in a row. Will I be able to go for 3? We'll find out. But anyway, thank you all so much for coming today. It was really nice to hang out with you all. I was feeling kind of crappy today, and to hang out with this many awesome people, I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, leave a like, maybe share some of my silly crap, and I will see you all next week. Oh, bye.